All right, we could finally get started. That was totally my fault. That's just how these things go sometimes. I think it's like this. Nope. Like this. Yeah, that's better. Okay, we can close this. Come on. So one other thing I gotta do. Output goes here. Input goes there. Okay, that looks better. All right. Testing. Okay, I'll troubleshoot it momentarily. I need to get started. Of course. Let's try this one more time. Input is there, and it just got disconnected. Okay, I think we'll fix that last time. What is this? Relaunch. Let me close this out. Output needs to go here. Input needs to go there. Okay, that looks good, but I can't get this. Come on. All right, I'm gonna have to forego that. Let's see if this works now. The student. Judging. Okay, I'm missing a student. All right, gentlemen. So just kind of bear with me. Taking attendance and still trying to troubleshoot my device. I'm not sure. I think it just needs to be restarted, and I'm trying to avoid restarting it because it just eats up so much precious time. But the way it's behaving eats up more time. So I'm at least the attendance seems like it's working. So I'm just going ahead and taking it, and I'm assuming that you guys can hear me. I mean, it looks like you can because like on my end it just is showing the way it's supposed to show. I'll check the chat in just a moment. I'm pretty sure that's in response to what I'm saying. But it can be anything. But I just want to finish this attendance because I do have at least one student that I don't see him on my roster. So I need to let him know. Okay, I got that one. And then for some reason, it's just like whenever I try to connect my AirPods, they just, let's see, this student, who is this? I might have a second student that I don't recognize. Oh, there he is. Okay. And like the thing that's so strange, like I intentionally, and here's another student I don't recognize. Yeah, I'm about to remove them. I definitely don't have a John Doe. All right. So I'm gonna let this student in, and then I'm gonna let these two. I'm gonna let them know that I don't have them on my roster. Okay. Give me just a moment. Let me message these guys. Okay. Cool. Let me see. Let me see. Please. Still, if you are still in the waiting, if you're still in the waiting room, yeah, it says my connection is bad. I mean, we're doing the best we can. If you're still in the waiting room, comma, that means I don't have you on my roster. Please update your information with your correct student name and contact the registrar. That's not right. To make sure that you are still enrolled in our course. Okay, that'll do for now. Oh, let me make sure I get these other guys. No, I got them. Yeah. Okay, wait. Let me see. Because it's him. I don't see him. I think he was in here a moment ago. Yeah. And then I think I got him as well. Okay. And I think I got him. But those two. Oh no! Daggone it. Hang on. Okay. Yeah. Let me let him in because I know he's been here before. So I only have one that's unaccounted for. Let me see, Mr. I think it's a Baptiste. I don't have you on my roster. So I don't know if you're like attending the wrong time. And I know I've seen you before. But, when I look at my roster now, let me see. Unless you go by a different name. Oh, I found you. Yeah, I found it. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Yeah, you changed your name, and so I was like, I think I got him as well. Let's see. Yeah, I got him already. He keeps like leaving and coming, but there's just one. There is one in the roster that like it's suspect. So I'm gonna just let him stay in the roster. I mean in the waiting room. Okay, give me just a moment. Like I can't. My headphones aren't working, so that's part of like what was causing the delay. Let me just troubleshoot real quickly to see if I can get it working again. Because you know, I don't know if you're familiar with like the pinwheel of death. It wasn't the pinwheel of death, but it was like the pinwheel of slowing stuff down, and it's kind of doing it still. Let me try one other thing, and I'm trying not to reboot my system. That I know that would fix it. That usually does. Because it would be nice to hear you guys' audio. Ugh. All right. I think I'm gonna just forego my headphones for right now because it just doesn't want to work. Um, yeah, I'm gonna have to go without being able to hear you guys. You should be able to hear me. So I mean, the chat works. We're gonna have to use that for right now. Let me check the chat real quick. Yeah, it's okay. Yeah, I figured as much. And it might be somebody else. Like if you have a brother that you know that's like in the waiting room, just tell them like just get them to pass on information like okay, about what their name is and which student that is, and then I can let them in. Because otherwise, I just don't know who it is. Yeah, yeah, yeah. If you have a question, you can either just type it in the chat or you can do a direct message. Let me see as far as announcements. So this is the end of week 7, right? Let's see. So we're moving into exam 2 next week. Now, I decided at the end of my class earlier to slightly augment the exam procedure. So let me see. So I'm still going to do a scheduling wizard. I think you all there's a way to do it in Starfish, so I need to investigate some. But what I'm going to do instead of starting the exam on Wednesday, I went on and made it available for this upcoming Monday. So you can get full credit for 7 days instead of 5 days, right? So it'll open up this upcoming Monday. It'll be due the following Monday at 9 a.m. And I need to look into it, but there is a way to use Starfish to do a scheduling wizard. Just let me look into it, and I'll send instructions on how to schedule for the oral component. Again, for the oral component, what I need from you all, basically, you schedule a like a 20 minutes time slot. I'll give instructions on this, official instructions, but just you schedule a time slot. Preferably, I like to keep it till um, to next week, but I got to look into it more. We might have to go a little longer than next week too. But you choose a time slot, and then basically, I just need to see your face, and I'll show my like iPad, and you can tell me what to write. I saw a video where somebody made like a clear dry erase board, that you like your camera shows. If you wanted to make something like that, I would I would be open to like, no, I don't want to say that, but it's not a bad idea to make that like a clear plexiglass like dry erase board if you just wanted to attempt it. If you got the gumption and you felt like you can do it. Like I said, I'm using an iPad and a MacBook Pro, so I'm using like a few different softwares like QuickTime and OBS, online broadcasting system. I don't think you would need OBS. You could probably use like if you had an iPad and a laptop or something, you could probably use like QuickTime and Zoom, and that would be more than enough. But the main thing is that I need to be able to see your face. You tell me what to write, and just walk me through about 3 questions. I want the oral component to be worth 20% of exam 2, and exam 2 is the same as the midterm. It's not an official midterm. It's just exam 2. Again, it'll be available next Monday and due the following Monday at 9 a.m. And I'm probably going to take all of next week we're going to use that time for conducting the oral exams. Without the oral component, the highest you can make on the exam is going to be an 80. Okay, let me check the chat real quick. No, the exams are not really shut down. It's just a late penalty of like 10%. So you can work on all assignments, even the exams, unlimited attempts. It's just that after the due date, the highest you can earn is a 90, right? So, but that's still an A minus. And if you want a B, or if you really really want an A, you could get it, right? So so the assignments are there, and there's an inherent extension built into all my assignments. I just do that because to save on the hassle of going back later and granting like individual requests, it was just too much. So I just automatically built in an extension. Now there's a hard deadline. Like I think I made it that Monday going into final exam. The final exam week is like the first week of December. But all the way up until the first week of December, if you want an A minus on any assignment, you just keep doing it until you get that score. It's unlimited attempts, and it's going to take your highest score. Let me see what else we got. That's okay. Yeah, yeah, that's just the nature of it. Like, it's just the nature of things. That's why I try to lighten it some because it's just a challenge for students in general, and whether we're in person or not, it's just a challenge. Let me see. The exams are still open, all right? So they're there. They're there. We just keep taking them until you get whatever score you like. Yeah, yeah. You got to communicate. You got to communicate. Um, yeah, you just click on the assignment. Like they should all be available. Like say you get a score now. I just want to kind of warn you against spending a lot of time on the homework. All the homework that's assigned for the entire semester is only worth 10% of your overall grade. All the quizzes for the entire semester are only worth 10% of your overall grade. The exams are for the entire semester. The exams make up 80% of your grade. So if you're concerned about your grade, first top priority is just make sure your exams are where you want them to be. That's the most savvy use of your energy and time. That's the least amount of work and the most amount of points. The homework is a lot of work for little points. The homework is really just there to prepare you for the exams, right? Just so that you have a sense, of where everything is coming from, and then the exam is the time for you to showcase what you know. When we do the oral exams, I'm just trying to get a feel or a gauge of where you are, right? Just to see how you're feeling about it. My intent is to like record the sessions, but not make it public. I make the sessions private and do it in a fashion like that. And also, like if you emailed me and I haven't replied, again, the original intent of class time is to be like Q&A. So it's a chance for you to ask questions and engage, like ask questions and clear up things, clear up anything that's not clear. I just go through the homework as a courtesy and just to fill the space because trying to get students to talk is kind of hard a lot of times. At least for me, other people seem to be a little bit more effective at it. So I just as a courtesy, I just fill the air with you all's homework because you can always use it as a reference. Let me see if I can get this thing working. No, it's still tripping. Yeah. So these are good questions, and I'm glad that you all are asking because that's the intent of this time. No, I still need to sit down. So exam two is on Pearson. So when you should be able to see it right now. Like it's not going to be available until this upcoming Monday, but I went on and posted it earlier today. So like it's going to be just like exam one where there's an online component. The only difference is I want to incorporate an oral component, right? And it might take me a couple of weeks to do that. I'm done with this for now. Yeah, these are good questions. These are good questions. Um, yeah. So I don't know if you remember when we first started. It seemed like it was too good to be true, as far as unlimited attempts and no real, all the way up until the end of the semester. But now you get a sense of the workload, and hopefully you can see why I kind of do things the way that I do, and hopefully you can take advantage of it. Seeing it is one thing, but knowing what to do and taking action is a whole nother. Hopefully you can take advantage of the setup, just get the stuff in there, and hopefully you can get the help that you need. So like with class time, again, we don't have to go through the questions that I go through. I just go through that again just to fill the space. But if you have anything else that you wanted to talk about specifically, we can pull that up. Even if I were tutoring, that's like the best way to use my services. Like if it's a general, hey, I don't get it, then I'm just gonna redirect you back to the homework because that's the best thing I know to do. But if you're like the best use is like if you're working through the homework and like, oh, I got stuck here. Can we work on this problem? I was like, yeah, and we'll walk through that one. Um, I just do better with specific questions like about the content. That's the best use of my skill set. Okay. Yeah, so I can't hear you guys. Just I couldn't get my headphones working. I think I need to restart my computer, but I don't want to eat up more of you guys' time. So we're gonna at least take the time that we have remaining to work through a few more questions. What we've been doing over the past few days is go. So I made an assignment for myself that you all don't have access to, and basically what it does is list out all the questions from sections 1.4, 1.5, and 1.6. And so in this assignment, it's kind of like an exam two study guide, but the goal is to see can we find some of the questions that could potentially pop up on the exam that's not necessarily assigned in the homework. Okay, have a wonderful day. Yeah. Okay, so let's and for a complete like experience of all those questions, you want to like I try to load all these into the same playlist on my YouTube channel. And you want to go and watch some of the sessions with my other students, so you can get, you can see some of the other questions, because I kind of do different questions with all the students. It's the same content, but it kind of jumps around. So let's hop over to Pearson, and I'm going to pick up with you all where I left off with my previous class. That's going to be here. Are you slowing down? All right, let me reload you. So if I go to manage, okay, it's this one. Let's preview. I didn't even see what question that was. And let me check this. That's looking good. Okay. And then, oh, and I need to share this for you guys. Where is it? New share. So there's that one and this one. Okay, so I know I left off about like here. Let me see. What section is this? 1.5. I left off. I intended to start. Come on. All right, I wanted to start here. So the ones that you just saw on the screen a moment ago, I worked on those with my students from earlier. We can work on them now. Let me see. Yeah, I don't know who that is. Let me get this student though. Okay. So again, and also I do want to encourage you all to like link up with the tutors, right? So you can work on these assignments with the tutors. Like, it's totally okay. You're not alone. You just got to take action. You got to make a decision and take action. You just got to make a decision and take action. You have a lot of support. You're not alone. Just you got to push. But I try to be reasonable and fair, as fair as I can be. I'm not trying to get in your way. I want you guys to succeed, but I can't give it to you. You have to take it. I can't make you do anything. I can only offer stuff and sit back. That's all I can really do, and be available. But like this, like this, like this. It's one of these. Come on. There it is. Okay. Let's start here. Let me at least get through this question first, and I'll check the chat. So given these two functions f and g, we're asked to evaluate the following. So this is moving back into section 1.6. This is on combining functions and composition of functions, right? So given these two functions, the first one we're asked to find f plus g of 4. So again, a common mistake that students make when they see this notation, they think this is multiplication and they try to distribute the 4, right? But this is not multiplication. This means f of 4 plus g of 4. Let me take some notes here so that I can be clear. All right, let's take some notes. Are you moving? You look like you're behaving okay. Let me check real quick. Yeah, it looks good. Okay. Let's go paper. Okay, so this is what, question 94? Now this comes from section 1.6, question number 1, right? So we're given that f of x equals x squared minus 4x, g of x equals 2 minus x cubed, okay? And then for part A, we're asked to find f plus g of 4. Part B, we're asked to find g minus f of, that's not an f, come on, g minus f of 1. I'm just taking some notes and I'll show it in just a moment. C asks us to do f times g of 2, f times g of 2. And D asks us to do g divided by f, that's not a g, g divided by f of negative 1. That's not a 1. Okay, give me just a moment. Come on. I just want to get this on one line. Okay. So if we hop over to the tablet, let's see, like this, and let's hide everything else. Cool, that looks better. Oh. Hmm. Oh, I didn't even know mine was zoomed in like that. Oh. Okay. Well then let's do this. Cool. Okay. So these are the notes that I just took on this question, right? So again, at first glance, you might be tempted to distribute these numbers. That's not what these mean, right? Let's start with part A. So part A, I asked us to find f plus g of 4. Again, this means the following. This means f of 4 plus g of 4, right? So we can do those off to the side. I'm going to leave a little bit of space. So if I'm going to evaluate f of 4 first, that's going to be 4 squared minus 4 times 4, right? So 16 minus 16, so that one is 0. And then if we do g of 4, that's going to be 2 minus x cubed. But again, the x in this case is 4. 2 minus, what is that, 64? Negative 62. Okay. So then if we do f of 4 plus g of 4, that's going to be 0 plus negative 62, which is ultimately negative 62. Okay, I'm going to finish out this question and then I'll check the chat, because I know there's something there. Let's go like this, and I want to get all this on one line. Like that. About there. And then put it back. Okay, so that was part A. Okay. Let's try part B. Okay, yeah, let's just give it a go, all right? So then part B asks us to find g minus f of 1, right? What does this mean? Let me copy and paste. So again, this means what? G of 1 minus f of 1. So we're not distributing, that's just what this notation means. Let me see if I can get rid of that. Okay, that's just what this notation means. Okay, so then let's find g of 1 and f of 1. So then g of 1 is going to be what? 2 minus x cubed, and again, x in this case, we're plugging in 1. Ultimately, that's going to be 2 minus 1, which is 1. And then f of 1, x squared minus 4x, but x in this case is a 1. Let me change these guys. 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, right? Okay, if we keep going, that's going to be what? 1 minus 4, which is negative 3. So then this ends up becoming g of 1, which is 1, minus f of 1, which is negative 3, and our final result is 4. Okay. Okay. Let me try to finish this out, and then we'll check some things. F times g of 2, so part C, f times g of 2. Again, this means f of 2 times g of 2. Okay. So then f of 2, x squared minus 4x. So we plug in 2 for all the x's. We get what? 4 minus 8, which is negative 4. Okay. And then g of 2 is what? 2 minus x cubed, 2 minus x cubed, right? X in this case is 2. So it's going to be what? 2 minus 8, which is negative 6. So then f of 2, which is negative 4, times g of 2, which is negative 6, is a positive 24. Okay. All right. One more. And hopefully you've noticed that like you can acknowledge that like we've kind of been doing like the same sections for about a few weeks now, right? I know we kind of got a little ahead, but we haven't really done any new material, so it's been ample time to like, you know, kind of try this stuff and get some time to figure it out. But you do have to kind of like shake off the butterflies and, you know, make a plan and take action. Like, okay, link up with tutors, link up with your classmates. G divided by f of negative 1. G divided by f of negative 1, all right? Again, this means g of negative 1 divided by f. I don't know what I'm writing. F of negative 1, right? So then g of negative 1 is going to be 2 minus x cubed, and f of negative 1 is going to be x squared minus 4x, okay? And we're evaluating negative 1, okay? All right. So then ultimately, if we have 3 negatives, we have an odd number of negatives being multiplied, that expression or that term is going to be negative, but then we get an additional negative. It's going to be a total of 4 negatives in the end. So that's going to become 2 plus 1, which is 3. And then down here, we're going to get a positive 1 plus 4 is 5. So then g of negative 1 divided by f of negative 1 is going to be 3 over 5. Okay. Okay. All right, so let's try these results in Pearson, and let's see how do we do. And then we'll check the chat because I know there was a question when I started. I just wanted to at least get through one question. Okay. F plus g of 4, we got negative 62. Negative 62. Okay. G minus f of 1, we got 4. Okay. F times g of 2 is 24. And then g divided by f of negative 1 is 3/5. Okay. Okay, let me check the chat before I go on to the next question. The chat is one of these. I think it's like, nope. I always hit the wrong thing. Let's try this. Yeah, there it is. Okay. Let me see if I can see them. User. Yeah, only person I have on my end is a guy that goes by John Doe, and I definitely don't have a John Doe on my roster. Yeah, I only have one person in the waiting room. Like that's and I know I got the other guy in. Let's see, that must be him. Let me see. Yeah, it's just important to show. Tell them to like leave the waiting room and update, make changes so that it shows his student name, and then come back, and then he should be able to get in. He should be able to make those changes as well. And I want to say Aniaba, like I want to say I got him already. He made it in. So yeah. Okay. Okay. So let's try another one. And again, so we get unlimited attempts at all assignments, and the system is set to take your highest score, right? So whatever your highest score on any question or any attempt, that's what it's going to take. It's just going to take your highest. Okay. All right, let's give this one a go. It says we're asked to find each of the following values. Okay. Type an answer, use radicals as needed. Okay, I think we need to take some more notes. Just trying to see if we can do it quickly, but it's a little bit involved. Okay, so this is question 95. This comes from section 1.6. This is question number 3. We have f of x equals 1 over the square root of x plus 5. And then g of x equals 4x plus 1. Okay, so for part A, we're asked to find f plus g of -4. For part B, we're asked to find f minus g of 0. Part C, f times g of -1, f times g of -1. And D, f divided by g of 1, f divided by g of 1. Okay. All right. Let's go like this. Okay. So if we hop over here like this, I wouldn't want to hide everything else. Okay. At least can show zoom. Chat looks okay. Okay, let's keep it moving. All right. So I'm going to do a little bit differently here. So for instance, for part A, we're asked to find f plus g of -4, right? This means f of -4 plus g of -4, right? So off to the side, I'm going to evaluate f of -4 and g of -4. So f of x, I'm replacing each x with a blank set of parentheses. F of x equals, we got this x plus 5 and the square root under 1. I'm going to simplify that, and then g of x equals 4x plus 1. Okay, I'm going to get a copy of this so I'm not having to write this repeatedly. I can just copy and paste. Okay, whoops, undo. So now we're finding f of -4 and g of -4. So inside the blank parentheses, where we replace each x with a blank parentheses, now we're going to plug in -4 and simplify. So the first one is -4 plus 5, which is 1. I think that final result ends up being 1. You should be able to get to that conclusion. And then 4 times -4 is -16, plus 1 ends up being -15. Now, if I need to go back or go further into details on any question, just get my attention. Oh no, is it that time? Man. Oh, we don't have time to finish this. Let me at least do this part A. So then if we're doing f of -4 plus g of -4, that's going to be 1 plus -15, which is -14. Okay, let me just submit this one, and we're going to close out because it's time. Okay. I'm going to have to reboot my computer. Let's see if I go like this, I think does it. Cool. Okay. So for part A, at least, we got negative 14. Okay. So we are out of time. Let me see real quick. Yeah, I'm gonna leave the rest. So we'll stop there. Hopefully you were able to get all your questions answered. Okay. Let me check the chat one more time. Yeah, the chat looks clear. But yeah, just to kind of recap, we do get a limited attempts at all assignments, even exams. Like there's an inherent or natural extension built into all the assignments. Even though like for instance, the one next week is due the following Monday, you can actually work on it past that deadline, and you can earn up to 90%. Right? There's only a 10% late penalty. Let me see. I think he's in the next class. Yeah, TUV. Okay. Okay. So on that note, we're going to end the session here. And from one beautiful mind to another, enjoy the rest of your day, guys. Take care. Peace.